Hi, how's your week going? I hope it's a really good one. I've decided to do this live because I've been having lots of conversations with people recently about getting opt-ins using Facebook ads. So you use a Facebook ad to send people across to your squeeze page or your landing page where you offer them a freebie in return for their contact details, usually their email address. Now, obviously, you need to have their email address so that you can send them the freebie. But the beauty of this system for you is that you then build up a database of people whose email addresses you have who you know are interested in this one particular thing that you've offered the freebie or the lead magnet for. Great system. A lot of people are now using it, and I'm helping quite a few people put this system together. But a question I've been having a lot recently is, well, how much should I be paying to get somebody onto my list? What's a good rate to see Facebook ads charging me to get an opt-in? And so I thought I would try and address that in this live. When you set up Facebook ads to send visitors across to a squeeze page for them to give their details to you, you can track how much it's actually costing you to get an opt-in by putting a pixel on the very final page that people would see as part of the process, usually the thank you or the confirmation page. So Facebook allows us to track how much it's costing us per lead or per opt-in. Brilliant. But apart from that, really you get very little guidance as to how much you would expect to pay for an opt-in. So what you might think to do is to go straight away to somebody else who's already running this system for their business and say, well, how's it working for you? How much do you pay? Because I want some sort of guidance. I want some sort of guideline here or some boundaries to get some idea about how much it's going to cost me. But the thing is that how much it's going to cost you to get an opt-in for your particular system and for your particular audience is going to be very different from how much it costs somebody else, even if they are in the same sector as you. Because what we're asking somebody to do is to take action on your particular offer as a result of your particular ad. So the cost you will pay to get somebody through your system is going to be dependent on what you are actually offering out there, what lead magnet have you decided to put together, and it's going to depend on how well targeted your advert is. Are you getting it in front of an audience that actually wants what you've got to offer? The more they want it, the higher the relevance score in your ads, then the less you are going to pay to get somebody to come from your ad to your landing page to give you their email address and opt in. We also know that the cost per opt-in is going to depend very much on how compelling your actual ad is. So not only what you're offering within your ad, but the language you use in your advert and the image that you use. How well is that resonating with your audience? And both of these things, not only your offer, but also how compelling your ad is, are going to be directly attributed to how well you actually know your audience. How well do you know your ideal customers or clients, if that's who you're trying to get in front of? Do you know the language they use? Do you know the pain points they have? Do you know what matters to them around what it is that you're offering? Because the more of this that you know, the more compelling your ad is going to be, and therefore the cost per action of what you are trying to achieve is going to come down and down. Conversely, we can use ads, of course, to go out and test a cold market, if you like, that we haven't tested before with an offer, and to see which audiences respond the best. Now that's great, but you will probably find that the cost per action here is going to be a lot higher than what it will be eventually when you know a lot more about the audience that you've actually decided to target. And there again, are you going out to an audience who've never met you before? Or have you actually established a presence already, say, on Facebook in particular, on social media in general? If you've been out there for a while, a few years, you've been publishing blogs regularly, you're part of Facebook groups, you're out there on Twitter, for example, then it's highly likely that people who see your ad may have come across you before or may have heard of you before. Maybe they've heard somebody else talking about you. And so therefore they've already got an idea about whether they know, like and trust you. And if they do, then you can see intuitively it's going to cost you less for them to come across and take you up on your offer than if you are going to a completely cold audience who've never heard anything about you at all. So these factors can all influence how much it's going to cost you to get someone to sign up for your offer and to join your list. Now, not only that, because if you think about the system that we've set up, someone is going to your Facebook ad. From your ad, they are then going to somewhere else, your squeeze page or your landing page, before they then click on that box and give you their details. So we have to consider not only what your ad looks like, how it reads, how well targeted it is, but also how your squeeze page or your landing page looks. Does it look trustworthy? Does it continue the message that you've started with your ad? Is there congruence between your squeeze page and your ad? Is the copy on your squeeze page and your ad similar? Are the images similar or the same? Do people feel that they're in the right place when they click through from your ad to your squeeze or your landing page? Or are they actually clicking away because there's no congruence between the two? Obviously, if they're clicking away, then, or if a lot of them are clicking away, then your cost to actually get people across and sign up is going to be ramped up. So when you are putting together a system like this, and say the cost to get somebody to opt in is much higher than you were hoping it would be, remember that you would then be looking at tweaking not only your Facebook ad, the image and the copy. You might also want to be tweaking the targeting. You might also want to be looking at actually what you're offering out there in terms of the lead magnet or the freebie. And then you also want to be looking at your landing or your squeeze page. How well is that actually converting for you? Very often, the software that you use to create a landing page or a squeeze page, and I use one called Lead Pages, that will actually tell you how well that page on its own is converting for you. And that's a good measure of how well that part in the system is actually contributing to your overall opt-in system from Facebook ads. So if you can get a conversion rate of about 40% on your squeeze page or your landing page, then you are doing well and your squeeze page is playing its part effectively. So don't think that if something isn't working correctly in this type of system that it is just to do with the Facebook ad, because it isn't. It's the entire system that you are measuring from beginning to end. And it's one congruent message that you want to be giving to the people you are attracting with your Facebook ad. You don't want it to be disjointed and bumping around, because people have got better things to do with their time, quite frankly, than to look at the stuff we're putting out on Facebook unless it's massively compelling, and then to take action on it. That's actually asking quite a lot, especially in this increasingly noisy world of ours. So we want to make sure that the message we get out there is truly compelling, that what we are giving has true value, that we can talk about the benefits of what we're offering, and particularly the emotional benefits to our audience, and not just the features All these things are going to help us to drive down the cost of getting somebody to opt in to your list. But then please remember this, and this is probably the most important point of all this. How much should I be paying for an opt-in? Is an opt-in good value? Well, you can only really answer that in terms of your business. Because if, say, you got 100 opt-ins and you paid £5 for each of them, say it cost you £5 to get somebody to opt in, if, say, 10% of those then ended up spending, I don't know, £10,000 each with you, then actually, happy days, your return on investment compared to the amount you've paid out to actually get those people on your list is massive. If, however, only 1% of those people eventually buy from you and they don't take any other actions such as refer you on to their friends or become great advocates of yours, if only 1% buy from you and they only spend, say, £10, then your ROI is massively decreased. So put all those factors together and think about actually how much an opt-in is worth to your business, and that will help you answer that question. Hope this has been helpful for you. Please feel to give me a comment here or to email me, and I will happily help you out some more on this subject. Thanks, and see you again very soon.